Alice?
Hey, check out what I got. I stayed under budget. Okay, here we've got 10 avocados, 20 aluminum. Make a little mango pyramid here.
Yeah, we're gonna be eating good.
Whoops. So aluminum mangoes, they just keep coming, and it's like avocados here. I got these tangerines, these awesome yummy tangerines. 3 bell peppers. Oh, limes. I totally didn't mention the limes. And oh, don't stop. 2 bunches of cilantro, 1 pound of strawberries, 3 bunches of radish. And what would you expect to pay for all this?
$12.21.
And oh, don't stop. 2 bunches of cilantro, 1 pound of strawberries, 3 bunches of radish. And what would you expect to pay for all this?
Alright, Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone who taught me this truth, and peace and salutations to the elect, feeding the sheep of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai. Yahweh is the true name of the Heavenly Father, which the world ignorantly calls God. Ba'ashem means in the name of. Yahushai is the true name of the Son, which the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. His true name is Yahushai. But once again, Lord willing, this will be an edifying lesson, and I'm going to be speaking about a famine is going to happen real soon. And, along with, all these other crises that are going to happen, right? You're going to have people out here killing each other, right? You're going to have wars. You're going to have the mark of the beast being implemented, and you're going to have famine, right? And all these things are going to be a part of a polycrisis, right? Multiple crises happening at the same time, but a famine is coming, right? The same way the Lord, when he, thousands of years ago, when he delivered the Israelites out of the land of Egypt, and he plagued the land of Egypt, the same thing the Lord will do now to modern day Egypt, which modern day Egypt is America, Babylon the Great, right? And the Lord is going to plague America with a famine, right? And as you can see in the clip, right, you're seeing people seeing an obvious difference of food prices, a massive difference of food prices of rent, and you're seeing groceries that costed, $12 in 2013? Those same groceries would cost you $60, $100 in some places. Just fucking madness, bro. And these are stages of the famine coming. Ezekiel 4:16. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, behold, I will break the staff of bread in Jerusalem, and they shall eat bread by weight and with care, and they shall drink water by measure and with astonishment. It's going to be a famine of food and water. And as I was just saying, prices of food increasing, right? That's just the start of famine, right? Because it's going to get to a point where there's not going to even be food to buy, right? You're just seeing the what's the word? The prequel to societal collapse, right? Because first, first you're able to buy food, then you're able to buy food, but the prices are being higher, and then eventually there's going to get to a point where you're not going to be able to buy anything, right? And that's how bad it's going to be, It's the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 16 and 20, verse 21. Behold, the victuals shall be so good cheap upon the earth, that they shall think themselves to be in a good case. And even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. Right? So you're seeing people, you're seeing, people, they can still buy food right now. They can still go and Uber Eats. They can still go on DoorDash. They can still go to McDonald's, right? They can still buy food, but it's going to come to a point where what evils are going to grow upon the earth, right? Sword, famine, and great confusion. Meaning these things are going to gradually get worse, right? They're going to grow upon the earth, meaning, it's going to turn from gradualism to suddenism, right? And just go back and look at those comments. You're seeing people literally keep record of, what things costed back then, 10 years ago, and what things are costing now. And these people are mourning, these people are pissed off. They're seeing a difference, and it's going to get even worse to the point where there's not going to be any food and people are going to start killing each other. 2 Ezra 15, verse 19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Right? So you're going to have these people some of these people will literally start eating each other. They're going to go in each other's houses, start killing each other, raiding to see if they have, raiding their cabinets, their food pantry, just to see if they have a fucking, a can of fucking canned chicken, a can of Campbell's chicken noodle soup. They're going to be literally killing each other over shit like this, bro. And, people are going to literally be killing each other, bro. People are already killing each other over a Popeye's chicken sandwiches, or, somebody cuts another person in the line, or in Popeyes, and dudes are getting stabbed, right? You have one dude, what's it called? One dude got shot over fucking onion rings just a couple months ago. That just shows you, if these people are doing these things now, imagine when there's no food. When these people's, their whole mindset just gets toward eating, and then they're gonna do whatever. They're gonna start killing each other, cutting people's heads off. You might even start seeing these people eat their own babies, man. Right? It's gonna get so bad out here. And a lot of these people in these comment section, they don't even know it's gonna get that bad, right? A lot of these people, just watch, bro. Just watch. And another thing, these people they want this, these people that try to flex this, rich lifestyle, eating at fucking $5,000 steakhouse, Michelin star restaurants. You're buying fucking $10,000 bottles of wine. These people are gonna get the famines too, bro. They're gonna experience it too. Just because these people have money or whatever, that doesn't make them excluded. Because there's a lot of people. They shop at these very expensive stores like, Erewhon. If you're not familiar with it, it's one of these stores that basically they're selling goddamn smoothies for $30. A gallon of milk, fucking $20. $40, man, for like water. Like they literally they sell some of the most expensive shit, and even these people are going to experience these famines, bro. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 65 and 13. It says, "Therefore, thus said the Lord Yahweh, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed." Right? So the Lord, he's not a man that would lie. Right? So ultimately, if the Lord says, what my servants will eat, right? The Lord's men will be provided for when these famines hit. And these other people that are basically not a part of that elect or 1/3, right? These people are going to starve. The Lord has it already predestined, right? He's going to see who's going to starve and who's going to actually, be provided for. It says, "But ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed," right? So ultimately, these people, they're gonna be out here just with a look of terror on their face, a look of just complete shame, because they're gonna realize too what the prophets were saying was actually right. And a lot of these people, they don't even think possibly like a famine could happen, because that's the thing too. You going back to that previous verse I mentioned, they think that they will be in a good case because they can also, they can go to Walmart, they can go to one of these like different Mexican markets and get a whole 20-pound bag of rice for a couple bucks, right? And that's good enough for them. That's cheap enough for them, right? But the Lord is gonna make it so they're not gonna even have access to that, bro. Because that's the thing. These people are so prideful. They've experienced so much gluttony, right? They don't possibly think that a famine could happen to where there's not even a single bag of rice on the fucking shelves. But it's gonna be like that, especially when all hell breaks loose, because by then people will be stealing, people will be just taking whatever, and then there's not gonna be food for these people, bro. And there's not gonna be food for these people, man. It's gonna be literally food's gonna be obsolete, right? You're looking for a fucking box of Pop-Tarts, a can of chicken noodles, a packet of Twinkies, a packet of ketchup. None of that, bro, is gonna be there when these famines happen. There's a famine's coming, bro. It's gonna be bad.
And for the average person listening now, what will they start to experience if this war doesn't immediately end?
2 or 3 months, India is going to run out of fertilizer. And so there'll be a famine in India. Food production on the planet could fall 10-25%. And therefore, there simply won't be enough food for everyone on the planet. And then it's a question of who's going to starve. Now, you'd think the wealthy countries are going to be safe. They've, like for Australia, my old home country, has about 30 days oil supply. When it runs out, it can't get food from the farm to the city anymore. So Australia is incredibly vulnerable. We're all far more vulnerable than we realise, and this war is threatening everybody on the planet.
Zephaniah verse 1 and 14. The great day of the Lord is near. It is near, and hasteth greatly. Even the voice of the day of the Lord, the mighty men shall cry there bitterly. Right? So they're not going to be no food for you bodybuilders, you these tough dudes out here. Even these, you're going to see a man with his hands on his stomach because he's going to be in that much pain because of famine, sickness, and starvation. Right? You're gonna see these 260-pound bodybuilders, man. These meatheads. You're gonna see their whole countenance change, physically and spiritually too, because you're gonna see them. They can't even go a few days without eating. They have to eat, a certain amount of calories, 5,000, 6,000, 8,000, 10,000 calories. Imagine when there was no more food, it drops down to they can eat 1 calorie per day, 100 calories per day. These people they're gonna fucking lose their minds, bro. When they see their whole physique shrink, that when they see their You know, they look into the mirror and they see their whole fucking muscles start disappearing. What do you think these people are gonna do, bro? And when they can't inject any more steroids into themselves, they got no more protein powder, no more chicken, broccoli, and rice. These people are gonna crash out, man. This is the book of Jeremiah 30, verse 6. It says, "Ask ye now and see whether a man doeth travail with a child." Right, so can a man give birth? Right, no. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. Right? Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Right? Meaning what? That, Jacob's trouble. Man, there's going to be a famine, destruction, deaths, to the point where you're going to see these men, they're going to have pale face. They're going to have their hands on their stomach like as if they were a pregnant woman. Right? Because what? The lack of food. Right? The lack of a comfort in a society. The lack of air conditioner. No more Wi-Fi. Right? No more shower. No more microwave noodles. No more convenience. No more TV. No more Netflix. No more vacations. All that's going to be out of the window, and these people are going to have their hands on their stomach like as if they're a pregnant woman. So destruction is coming, bro. Destruction and famines are coming. That's really all I have to mention. Right? I want to read it one more time. "Ask ye now and see whether a man doeth travail with the child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness." Right? So people are going to starve out here. They're going to have their hands on their stomachs because of the lack of bread, for the great tribulation that's coming, for all this destruction that's coming. They're going to be in basically what? They're going to be in terrible fear. Right? So I'm going to end this lesson off here. Lord willing, this was edifying. And with that, I'm going to give all glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash, Shalom.